Welcome to Loleventvods. Watch the full game of today's LTA 2025 matchup.
You might have something called Twitch Prime. So
tell me more.
There is this really neat feature that if you have already subscribed to Amazon Prime, then if you click on this little subscribe button right there, Flowers, you see that?
Can I then type feet without getting banned?
You know, I'm unsure. I'm unsure as
so it
to
sounds like we need people to help us find out.
Oh, test it. Okay, gotcha. Yep.
It would almost be like they're a part of the team right here with us.
Well, you know what I see on screen is a bit of a draft going on. So I think we're going to get back to some League of Legends because I've been told that they are also unsure. If we get fired, it might be because of this. It might not. But if we get back to the game now, then there's a slightly lower chance that we don't get fired. So that...
Okay.
Wait, that we do.
Wait.
No, don't.
No.
Okay, yeah. Start the game.
We don't want to get... Okay,
yeah, we don't.
Into the game. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the LTA North and the beginning of our beautiful series here in a best of 3 between Cloud9 and FlyQuest to determine who's our second team going to Brazil.
You know what else? We're going to follow Blippo's Cassante priority here.
All right.
Bessa is banned. He goes with the Cassante first side blue pick over the Jace.
Okay, so Jace available, Aurora, Yone, and Bessa banned out by Fly, C9, double targeting junglers, Ivern and Skarner alongside the Kalista, and I
need to tell you a cautionary tale.
Looks like Jace.
At the moment. Flowers, I was there. I was actually, well, I was here. I was actually next to you when it happened, and it was very recent. A Vi was first picked by Team Liquid, and that Vi
set a record.
It was piloted by Umpty. It set a record. An LCS record.
Not just LTA.
Not
LCS,
just LTA.
Everything.
Exactly.
Everything, both together.
Just the entire expanse of both the lifetime of the LCS and the LTA. The most deaths of anyone in a single game.
Not the record.
It was a first pick Vi.
Yeah.
And this one here, which is going to go presumably into the hands of Blabber.
One would hope.
One would hope that that is not a record-setting Vi first pick.
Well, Blabber, we're assuming, has recently evacuated his bladder, so he will be calm, cool, and collected as he's ready to play the Vi
funnily enough,
in his first game, first pick.
When you do have to pee, you are going to be more stressed, so you probably are more focused. So, but it's definitely more healthy to relieve the bladder before playing. So let's focus back in on this because we did once again get a little bit off track.
Slightly.
Yeah. And so the other side, we are going to match with that AP jungle on the other side with the Zyra.
Okay, we got Zyra.
And Zyra is a power farming AP jungle. One of the best things about it is that you can start walking away from your camps very early on and walk to the next one. Her clear speed, because of this, is one of the fastest in the entire game. So if you're not careful as a Vi, which is substantially slower clear speed, that really has to play off of making plays with the team, then you can be vastly outpaced in income, in gold. And that is something that Inspired is well known for. So our jungle matchup that the analyst has highlighted so well for us in the intro, which was before the pause and before a lot of our enlightened discussions that we have had here today, set up for us. So that was quite nice and accurate of the analyst test. Really appreciate them for doing that for us.
I mean, when we go back to Inspired's humble corporate roots, we remember him as the CEO of Jungle from this same time last year when we were having the AP Jungle full clearers, and he was just speeding through. Stocks going through the roof, constantly power farming, constantly topping out the economies, constantly making sure that he was the big AP missile flying towards the enemy team every single time. So I have no doubt in my mind he'll be able to run some of that back. We'll see if C9 can manage to contain it. Obviously, Zyra is vulnerable. If you can catch her out of position, if you can catch her off guard, all of that speed clearing is not going to matter if she's getting punched to death because she has no way away from the Vi.
That's true.
So we'll see. We'll see if C9 can collapse and punish the immobility on that champion. It's Ashe and Elise banned out by C9. 2 bottom lane bans now. Elise, of course, much more of a support than a jungler these days. As Varus and Rakan banned out by FlyQuest. What is going to be our pick first for C9? Leona, the answer.
Okay, really good pairing here to have such strong engage Very clearly, Leona Vi, full send, looking for that dive. On the side of FlyQuest, the answer here, with the hovers at the very least, did seem like they were hinting at Quad taking the Corki and possibly drafting their whole bottom lane at the moment. Busio, I was watching Busio stream last night. A lot of these players, by the way, both Cloud9 and FlyQuest are some of our most prolific streamers. You should definitely tune in after LTA days. The majority of them actually do turn them on.
Oh, hell yeah.
Busio was streaming 3 support Elise games in a row. And so when I saw that support Elise hover, I wasn't buying it, Flowers. He lost every single game. I didn't actually track his KDA, but I believe it was something like 0 and 50.
I thought you were gonna
kill death. So.
I thought you were gonna give me like a really.
It was like something like that, you know. Okay, back into this.
So maybe it was just 0 and 45. I feel so much better now. All
right, Flowers, focus up a little here.
Okay,
buddy.
sorry, I'm distracted. Yeah,
no.
my bad.
So Cassiopeia has been picked up. Some of the weaknesses of Cassiopeia, Flowers, are that she can get outranged. Yeah. But she's very good at counter engage. So. You know, seeing the Vi and the Leona there in the draft, they felt like they really wanted this counter engage. Quad, of course, has been highlighted in a lot of their games as being this legacy Cassiopeia player. But looking for some very strong counter engage with that plus the Zyra, they certainly do have that. There are some possible difficulties, though, with adding the Ezreal onto the Jace here. Okay. Having some long range possibilities here. Maybe we'll see the poke of Cloud9 be a tool that they can use as the game goes on. The range there. And of course, they have massive playmaking when you've got Vi, Azir, and Leona. As long as you choose your moments wisely, you can try and work around a lot of that counter engage.
Yeah, tons of tools there in C9's belt. That means when I'm looking across the aisle at FlyQuest, I really just see the Rel as the primary engage. So that's telling me, okay, Busio, it's time to take all of the bad memories of support Elise and 0 and 50 or whatever. We flush those. We leave those in the bathroom break before the game. Okay. And then we bring in the Rel, and we got to trust the judgment, trust the call. We got to crash down and crash hard. But like in a good way.
Okay. Focus up, lock in. Crash. Yeah. Maybe we'll try and avoid the crash.
It's the ability. It's the ability name.
Yeah.
You're Rel.
Exactly.
I'm role playing as the character.
Yep. Crashing down into the team fight.
Okay. That's what we're doing.
Yep.
C9 versus FlyQuest. Spot in Brazil on the line.
Let's go.
Let's do it.
Also, by the way, whoever wins this series is going to then have a single game seeding battle at the end of the day to fight 100 Thieves for the title of #1 seed, rank 1 LTA North team, heading down to the Americas tournament there to represent us in that tournament.
And remember, it's not just for the title of being the #1 seed. It means you also get to play the weakest Brazilian team when you first get there, because our #1 plays against their #4, and then vice versa. So you get the top spot, you get to beat up their weakest guy. Get a nice, what is it, like confidence booster match, just strut into Brazil. You're on their turf. You get to start off by kicking butt.
What did APA call it? The team bonding matches?
Yeah.
Unfortunately for them, they actually then lost to that team bonding
Well, they need to do some more bonding.
Yeah. So, into this one, looks like we are starting off with top side clears for both. Interesting. So Inspired here on the Zyra, going to be pathing away from the lane swap, and lane swap enacted by Cloud9. No deep wards, so they didn't get the early alert yet, but Ezreal Leona up to the top side there for Cloud9 lane swap. Cassante does quite well in the lane swaps, and it looks like Inspired will at least be able to steal away. You call it kind of stealing away as the jungler when you take camps from your top laner's side of the map in the lane swaps. Because sometimes as it goes on, it can be a lot more dangerous. So we'll keep track of this jungle pathing, because sometimes the junglers are actually the ones that win out the biggest in lane swaps. And we mentioned in Champion Select Flowers the clear speed of Zyra being one of the best in the entire game. Inspired currently has fully cleared that kind of weak part of the map. So we'll track him and see, does he cross from blue quadrant to blue quadrant here? Because if you do, then you can play off your pushing bottom lane of Masu and Busio, the duo, and you can try and starve out Blabber early. Currently, he is at least stopping out here for these Raptors. Let's see where he walks next. He's just going to do a regular clear. He is not going to go for the invade because it was called that the Leona recalled there. So Vulcan getting his recall off on Leona has protected the jungle for Blabber, resulting in Zyra not going for the invade and not going off of this pushing bottom lane. So Blabber is allowed to clear some of these weaker side camps for himself and keep pace with the Zyra, at least for now.
Inspired also starting with kind of a cheat plus 50 gold on Zyra because you don't ever have to buy the health potion at the beginning since you're never really taking any
I do that
damage from
cheat
the
all
camps.
the time, yeah.
Well, you're a volleyball player. Volleyball don't take no damage either. He's also getting to cheat.
All right, here he comes. Cheater alert is walking over the wards. Doesn't have to buy the potion, as he said. Is going to get the bottom scuttle grab.
Whoa. Sven with the flash forward, but he misses the follow-up damage. No chance to kill Bwipo after that one, but really playing aggressive here.
Okay, resources exchanged. It is interesting because they should know that Blabber is going to get topside crab since they're going for the recall here for Inspired after bottom side crab is picked up. And with Vi being up on that top side is going to be kind of the reverse scenario here. Sven going in once again, though, to try and keep up as much damage, as much bully potential on Bwipo as possible, and try and get that recall out. Let's see about the recall on the bottom side. Already started there. Yep, Masu and Busio switching right on over. So they'll head over, no problem.
All right, TP going bottom. Bwipo will catch this wave, be ready immediately to answer that one. First dragon of the game is going to spawn here in about 45 seconds as Sven tries to get away from Inspired. The grasping roots barely miss out on grabbing him there. Surely that would have been some bad news for the Cloud9 AD carry. Does have the cleanse though, so should have been able to pop it even if it hit him.
Oh, it's going to help him fast shove. So Inspired sticking around to fast shove topside. While Busio looks mid for this play, Loki forced to use a decent amount of mana to jump back to turret, but that is all it's going to cost him, just a little bit of mana.
Yeah, he'll be happy with that one. He's not too pressed about losing that much of the bar. He'll be okay. Has the recurve bow in the inventory alongside the potion and the cookies. You can see Quad got his back. Not quite as happy with it, I would think, since you only have the most basic components with the Amp Tome and the Sapphire Crystal. He is putting some good damage there into Loki, though, with those Serpent's Fangs. Very, very, very difficult if you stay inside the range of that to ever deal with the DPS potential. Back up in the top side, though, the 2v2 has finally resumed. Down there in the bottom lane, Bwipo finally getting the lane against Thanatos as Masu and Busio have control over the topside push. Bwipo doing the same thing here on the bottom part of the map. First set of grubs not spawning for another 35 seconds as junglers are still just clearing back through their camps.
Yeah, Inspired here with his finished Faded Ashes, ending on the bottom side once again. Both of them are double protective control wards up for Cloud9. To try and see if there is any sort of movement there. But 20 seconds on grubs, you have to assume the Zyra team is going to be able to move up to that. Quad now level 6 on his Casio as well. Goes to drop the extra ward here. So
I like it.
Interesting. They assume that there's gonna be an attempted objective trade, and they want the extra vision on it, because they do have the mid lane priority because of all this harassment that you've seen and the extra trade damage there from Quad. He was able to get now the push on Loki after Loki has no teleport already, and he invested that control ward. I want to see, wait a second.
We've already got a little bit of scrap going on up here on the top side as Busio's down to 100 HP and some serious danger. First blood over to Vulcan. C9 whooping him in the 2v2.
I wanted to see if this control ward invested to see Dragon was going to do anything, but Inspired's actually top for the counter dive.
Inspired dropping the Strangle Thorns, immediately kills Vulcan. They follow it up. It's a double for the jungle CEO on FlyQuest.
I mean, that's just efficient, Flowers. He's got double full clears into grubs into double kill at the tower. Inspired will be the one to track for gold here. Massive boost to him now. I mean, honestly, too, the more money you funnel into Zyra, from Faded Ashes then up to Leandries, makes your clear insane. You basically just get to start a camp and almost immediately walk away from it because the burn is going to do so much work finishing. So we'll see about the continued full clear. It was actually a FlyQuest initiated play there. They were trying to punish Sven, but unable to do so. Busio, yeah, I can see.
That was a bad crash down.
Yeah,
that's not the right kind of crash.
He crashed down, but he crashed, yeah.
He crashed and burned.
Crashed and burned. Yep, there you go. He was, yeah, he wanted to take advantage, but it's okay because your CEO is here to clean up for you. Inspired comes up, and he's able to finish the job.
Yeah, works out perfectly for the side of FlyQuest there to come back, end up coming out on top in that one anyway. They've got themselves nice little, 750, 800 gold lead. Feeling pretty good about that. They secured the first 3 grubs. Meanwhile, C9 taking that first Drake. The Hex Drake means we will not get a Hex Soul, so no gates, no super-powered Soul if you manage to collect all of the first 4. FlyQuest 1 kill away from the feat of Warfare. Both teams making slow progress towards that neutral objective one. And I feel like most of the time, you don't really ever see the turret feat until 14 minutes anyway, and the plates are gone. So that one's still a ways away.
Yeah. There we go. Right on over the wall. Easy peasy. So where is this speed demon going to go?
He's cruising, man.
He wants that. He wants that tiny bit. There we go.
There it is.
Get the other one too.
One last shot from the plant. Nicely done.
I mean, so it actually is really big. The tiny Krugs have a huge amount of the gold value in them. So cleaning up every little last piece here for the Zyra is nice, and that gets him to not only the Leandries but also a control ward here.
Big
for Inspired as they continue to farm away.
Now, we did see Masu have to spend the cleanse up here in the top side. Did get caught a little bit, so wanted to make sure that he did not give away a free kill against C9. Still, we've got a minute and a half until the next set of grubs spawn. Still 2.5 minutes away from the next dragon. I feel like in most games, Kobe, unless somebody's really running away with it in the early game, teams will usually try to challenge that second set of grubs. So that's what I'm kind of waiting to see from C9 here. Do you want a full challenge for it? Do you want to just go in, try to smite one of them down? Inspired and Busio, got to be a little bit careful here. They are outnumbered at the very beginning of the fight, and Busio immediately absorbing so much damage, but he barely gets away. The Ignite finally ticks down and kills him, but they're ready to take one back. Loki is the sacrifice. FlyQuest claiming the feat of Warfare, 1-for-1 trade.
Yeah, honestly, FlyQuest will take that one happily. Able to get the kill onto Loki again, and Loki doesn't have teleport because he had just used his teleport again. So this is going to slowly rack up. You already see the CS difference in mid, and a lot of these kind of delays and a lot of this harassment here, keeping those numbers down for Loki, but just continue to pump up here for Quad. And here's a look at it. Busio is actually okay with sacrificing his life. He almost, if he was not ignited, would be able to get out of it, but he's able to get them grouped up for Inspired, and Zyra over the wall sets it up for Quad to be able to flash in and start to get some extra money onto this Cassiopeia. So now you really have dual AP carry threats on the side of FlyQuest. Both the Zyra and the Cassio getting some fairly substantial leads early into this game. And those things melt objectives like no other. This is probably the 2 best in the entire game, Flowers, at just melting objectives off their first items. Massive burn from both of them. So with a full 6-pack of grubs picked up, FlyQuest are positioned well to take turret plate money, as well as burn through the rest of the objectives in the game. Quite nice for them, at least the focus of where their gold has gone. It's not just a 1,000 gold lead for the team, but kind of where it has gone for them.
And those big spikes, I'm glad that you bring up the first couple of items. We already mentioned Leandries on the Zyra, Blackfire Torch on the Cassiopeia, dots on dots on dots on dots. Both of these champions so obnoxious to deal with at this point in the game. And FlyQuest now, with all 6 grubs in their possession, that is so much turret taking power, and they are now only 1 neutral objective away, by the way, the next dragon spawning in about 10 seconds, from being able to claim the extra boots, the feats of strength.
Yeah. Already we're looking at, actually we're looking at Blabber take a little bit of a chunk, a big chunk.
Yeah, we got a whole all-in coming out from Bwipo, but now Thanatos is looking to make a difference in the fight here himself. Bwipo going back in a 1v2. He is not scared of these guys, making a 1v3 as Vulcan's ready to make his entry. Third and Tofo strike ain't gonna matter because finally Sven gets it done with the True Shot Barrage. It took 3.5 to stop Bwipo.
I feel like we saw real-time ego inflation off of the 1v2, and he was like, yeah, I'm gonna keep going. And he got a little bit like blood crazed, and he was like, I can win the 2v1, and Inspired is coming to back him up, but one extra chase a little bit too far there does get chopped down. and we'll see. Still objective picked up for FlyQuest though. They're not too unhappy about it.
Whippo might have been blood crazed, but he got Blabber's ulti, he got Sven's ulti, he got Vulcan's ulti, and he got Thanatos' flash. That is a massive amount of resources from C9 that now no longer want to fight for the Drake. The feats of strength go over to FlyQuest. Honestly, I'm going to call that good death.
Yeah, still good. Still good. Honestly, too, I don't think they're done down here.
No, sir. Thanatos in danger. Masu putting the damage on him, but not quite enough. Thanatos can clear out the wave. The Ignite not going to take him anywhere even close to dead. Still above half HP. Whippo coming back down here. Has Flash. No ulti ready to go. Flash with a Shattering Strike, and there we go. Whippo's bloodthirst will finally be sated as he claps down Thanatos.
Flowers, this game, even though it's still pretty early on, does feel very, very one-sided. The 6 grub bonus for Masu here, who is the only carry on FlyQuest that hadn't gotten early kills and early money.
Who needs him?
But he's going to get an entire tower on bottom side to himself. And that was with a lot of tower plates. So the AD threat is also going to be here for FlyQuest to complement those dual AP carries that already got fed quite nicely.
It's scary, man. And that was even before the plates fell. All 5 plates right there for Masu. The Corki's feeling great. Once he goes back to the base, should have that Trinity Force there. It is purchased up, halfway charged on the tier towards the Manamune as well. That will be able to evolve to Muramana, as Quad has control over the mid lane push. Vulcan's hanging around nearby, but he does not want anything to do with that snake.
Yeah. They did get their feats of strength, and Cassio, although...
They got all 3 of them, technically.
Cassio has no feet.
Yeah, no shoe.
Chat, how many feet does Cassio have?
Yeah,
and also
how many feet? Not just the number. Make sure you say how many feet does Cassio have?
Yeah, how many? Oh, Thanatos under attack again.
Yeah, Thanatos is, his feet better start moving. Crash down from Busio. This time it strikes true. Pathmaker from Whippo. They want to give this kill over to Quad if they can, and yes, sir, they'll do just that. FlyQuest 5-3, 1,500 gold ahead.
Fun thing that, ooh, maybe we have a little surprise here. Whippo is so tanky, though.
I don't think Whippo cares about this surprise. He's just like, okay, hello, and he walks away. Not really an issue for the big brick wall in the top lane for FlyQuest. Yeah. You're seeing Loki at least try to get something done top lane in the meantime, but man, FlyQuest controls the enemy jungle.
It's like when, if like Raz or something is trying to scare you, he jumps out behind the corner and Flowers just stares him down.
Hey, Raz.
Hey, Raz.
Hey, Raz. What's going on? Raz tries to actually do that. Raz is...
Yeah, he does try and jump scare you, huh?
Yeah, Raz is a jump scare guy. But I feel like you don't want to do that to Cassante. Cassante doesn't care if you try to jump scare.
I mean, you don't want to do it to Whippo because Whippo has been looking fearsome in this game, and now we're going to get another attempt.
Oh, and immediately they find the lockup on Blabber, but he's ready to try to turn it around with his own engage. He's going to be killed off first. FlyQuest have found the enemy jungler, but they've traded their own. 1-for-1 so far. Loki trying to get away, but the Twin Fangs are out tonight. He bares those teeth. He's ready to sink them in to C9, and Quad gets another one for his team. 2-0-1 here in the Cassiopeia. FlyQuest up 7-4.
Yeah, they got the shutdown Flowers, but it was a huge, huge cost for them. You've been tracking these flashes. That is flash on Sven's, flash on Loki. The 2 main Cloud9 carries here now down in addition to the extra kills going over. This is quite massive for FlyQuest. Let's take another look because Busio here lying in wait. They kind of go right into it. It is a beautiful snare right out of the brush onto him. So Blabber didn't really get to do anything. And so while there was the sacrifice on the side of FlyQuest of Inspired going down, they got so much more out of it. A double kill here for Masu. The Corki that we were looking at how much tower gold he got already with the extra kills on top. It is looking so nice here for FlyQuest as Whippo.
Oh, Whippo wants this. Third in Tofo strike right into the all-out, going after Loki. You already mentioned the man has no flash left, and his ulti's still not off cooldown from the previous fight. Quad going on a killing spree, taking him down as Vulcan now needs to escape. The Eclipse makes him tanky, but it does not make him tanky enough. There's no way home for Leona, and FlyQuest just keeps getting paycheck after paycheck. Rift Herald's alive, and Loki and Vulcan are down. FlyQuest are going to take the tier 1 turret here in the top lane and turn their eyes straight on to the next objective.
Paycheck after paycheck. Are you implying that the FlyQuest members should be getting the Cloud9 members' paychecks in addition to their own?
Yes.
Oh my.
Just
goodness.
one after another, after another, after another.
Wow.
Cloud9 is paying for FlyQuest's flights to Brazil right now. If they don't change something about this, I'll tell you what.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. The free flights. That is sick. Are we going to get business? There's only one game. There's only one
That's
game.
true.
Calm down.
That's true. Maybe it's just one seat.
Don't be a game one Andy Flowers.
All right. Hey. I'm all right.
And they didn't even win that game
I'm with
yet.
you. I'm with you. Busio going in, trying to stop Blabber from being able to secure the dragon. He will, however, get the smite. I don't really see any way for him to meaningfully, reasonably get out of this. Trying to use the Vault Breaker to continue the escape, but the noxious blast from Cassiopeia tags him, and there's just no way out of it after that. Nicely picked up from Quad. They'll get that punish, and FlyQuest will take the opportunity with their wave pushing up mid to now use the dead enemy jungler for even more tempo, even more gains, even more objectives under the tier 2 here in the mid lane. Busio scaring Loki back. Cloud9 scared to step forward. Tier 2 turret dead in the dirt.
So I preemptively, at the last series, I submitted my vote for player of the series and player of the week at the same time. I was like, you know what? It's got to be Quid.
We had an amazing series.
Yeah, I was so confident. However, there's often this comparison between Quid and Quad.
Very similar names.
Because their names are so close. And currently, Quad is making me regret my early submission because this Cassiopeia is already an outstanding performance, and I've only just started this game. Wow, look at that. Production right on top of it.
Look at that.
This game is only 18, almost 19 minutes in, and he's already 11k damage and dominating here on the Cassio. With most of his flashes, I think all of them, but I'm going to go with most, just so there's a possibility, a little leeway
Right,
there.
yeah. Give yourself some wiggle
Most
room.
of them have been used forward to grab a lot of these kills, so it certainly seems like he wants to make a very strong case here to contest Quid, his evil twin, in the race for player of the week.
All right, we'll see if we can keep that tempo up. We do have Voracious Otacon spawning in 25 seconds. I know it's Voracious because it wasn't Ruinous in the previous series, so I just don't believe that one exists anymore.
True. If you can't see it,
it's not there.
Then is it really does it even exist? Object permanence.
I don't have it.
Yeah, should we revisit object permanence as a philosophical debate?
Well, I'm not a Shaco player or an Evelyn player or a Twitch player, so I don't really know.
I'm going to stay on the side of science for now.
Okay.
And say that it does if you... Okay, here we go, Busio.
Well, it looks like Busio is staying on the side of the map that should belong to Cloud9, does not belong to Cloud9 any longer. So let's see what are we going to get here from C9 to try to stop what FlyQuest is doing. It just seems like they have no answers, man.
It's really dark, and if you're going into a Zyra and a Cassiopeia...
Well, Blabber's going straight into a body bag after this one if he isn't any more careful. Is getting away?
Yeah, it was a really good ult timer there. He ulted and immune the Cassante pushback, and so Bwipo still went flying, but Blabber got to stay in place because he Vi-ulted just as Bwipo ulted, and so Blabber saves his own life there, which is critical. Because Flowers, again, this game, still not wrapped up yet. And even with Otacon here, it looks like we're going for resets for everybody to resupply. Masu's headed straight towards mid to push mid first, though, and get them the extra pressure.
And you can see Bwipo also going top, ready to push that out. He has his teleport ready, so he can join the Otacon fight if they try to force something before he's ready to rotate. So easy move for him on that one. Still working towards the second fully completed item for Bwipo. Quad now with both damage over time mage items. The Rylai's Scepter done for Inspired is also so obnoxious on this Zyra. The champion's already immaculate at zone control, and now every stupid little plant slows you down permanently if you're in its range.
Yeah, exactly. This squad with early vision control is really hard for Cloud9 to face check into. So we'll see. They're coming back, retaking vision right now. Bwipo on Cassante has been an absolute monster, and he pushes the top wave all the way in and then teleports down to add the extra pressure here. Now, Loki does have teleport on the Azir. He's going to try and clean up the minion wave first. He does so, and now is on the way.
C9's got to answer this. They can't afford to give away the Voracious Otacon, but FlyQuest are starting it up and daring them to come challenge. Bwipo with the third in Tofo strike ready in prime. Knocks back Sven, but the follow-up is not there. Sven shifting away, keeping himself alive for now. Bwipo still at about half HP. Already used the teleport to join the fight, so it's not like he can go back to the base and heal. But he's at the prime state for being able to use the all-out. C9 have managed to hold the area well enough to stop FlyQuest's attempt at the Otacon. But meanwhile, Vulcan face checks into the brush. He and Bwipo could be in a little bit of trouble here, but no, it's Busio down first. Fen grabbing the kill as Bwipo brings Vulcan back, and it's a one-for-one trade. Thanatos and Blabber coming up through the bot side of the river, but Bwipo and Masu are hurt. FlyQuest grouping up with the remaining 4 players, but they don't want to overextend here in this fight. The next Drake is already live, and C9's working on it.
Yeah, that was a little bit risky there from Busio and Bwipo because Quad was bottom lane. Now this Dragon pull, though, look at the flank from Blabber on the side. He has Vi ulti.
Blabber wants this, but Bwipo's still safe. They're trying to just force down the Drake and then get out. FlyQuest does not want to allow it to happen. Quad looking to slither his way forward. The Drake stolen away by Inspired. Beautiful moves from Masu there, Valking back out of the way as Blabber tried to do anything when he was caught. Vi is a one-way kind of champion, and he's not getting out. Beautifully fought from FlyQuest.
They win the smite fight, and then they take down Blabber in the aftermath. Flowers, FlyQuest racking it up right here. That's going to even up the Dragons here 2 apiece. Meanwhile, they're also going to get the secondary big benefit of clearing out a lot of the vision leading up to Otacon. Because again, it is really hard to face check this team, and so getting the vision control after the fight is also quite big. Let's take a look at this smite fight here, because they walk up and this is fair.
Yeah.
This is straight up good old-fashioned smite fight. Who combos better?
209.
Yeah, went for a little bit early there, the first one. About 209 damage, as you said, early there, and Inspired was able to then clean it up afterwards.
Masu unafraid to just fly forward on this Corki now as well. And I like what you mentioned back in draft, talking about how they lock in this Cassiopeia, seeing Vi and Leona on the enemy team, trying to play Vi into Zyra Cassiopeia when you are not really far ahead of the curve of the game. It just feels impossible. You know you're going to die every single fight. You just have to try to get an ulti that makes it worthwhile, and Blabber hasn't been able to do that.
All right, FlyQuest, they're trying to push up mid and bottom here to gain priority, again, leading to this Otacon that is still available. They're pushing Cloud9 out of their own jungle. They successfully do so. There is 1 ward left behind, but they find it now too. So they have successfully taken full vision control leading up to it. Oh, there's a little bit of a straggler down there.
Okay.
That does see it. I believe it is, yep, it is a regular ward, so that one will stay there. They know that it's not being taken, so Cloud9 have a little bit of safety there with that information. It just really is difficult with the 6 scrub bonus plus the gold lead that FlyQuest have right now.
Yeah.
For Cloud9 to get back in, but let's see if Blabber can kind of lead the way here on this buy. It's a dangerous job, but he goes for it, and he gets the control ward out of Try. That is actually huge.
Yep.
A safe pathway now lit up for Cloud9 to come contest the objective again.
Well, FlyQuest would love to make those roads dangerous once more as C9 continues sweating, trying to deal with the threat of this voracious Otacon. Baron now also live on the map. So C9 knows that if they try to fight for Otacon and they lose, their opponents are going to get 2 massive buffs as long as they still have enough guys left to do it. You already mentioned earlier the damage potential on objectives from Zyra and Cassiopeia. You don't need the whole team alive to take stuff with these 2 champions.
Yeah, they can burn through those things so quickly. And you can see once again, they want to do step number 1, push up these mid and bottom wave first. Interesting that Cloud9 have Loki topside, pushing the topside wave. His teleport is ready.
True shot barrage.
You don't get a lot of time though.
Yeah, but it's going to see Otacon at about 75% HP, now down to about 50. Bwipo playing the bouncer. He does not want to allow C9 into the club, but Loki is trying to get his friends in the front door. Otacon already secured by Inspired, by FlyQuest. Bwipo jumping into the back lines because he knows he has the false life. They'll claim the Otacon, they'll lose one of those pseudo GAs, and now FlyQuest has 2.5 minutes to run the rift even harder than they already were.
And guess where they're going to run, Flowers?
Straight to the Baron.
Yep, exactly. There is one large purple objective on the map. Oh, Catacon.
Yeah,
because
that Catacon was claimed by FlyQuest.
That is
2 cats.
2 cats. 2 cats
Good
adopted.
job, FlyQuest.
Good job.
2 cats. You ought to ask him. See if you can get one of those.
Honestly, I should. And nobody tell Travis.
Travis, you better be watching. This is for charity.
Exactly. That could be us.
Yeah.
One of those cats. Ooh, that's a Zonia, or that's an arm guard I see picked up for quad flowers. So extra safety here behind one of the mega carries. And he's very close to level 16. Cassio dangerously close to level 16 here. So very, very, very threatening in these team fights. And Cloud9, the only GA that they were able to remove was Bwipo's. So
it's not the best one.
This Baron is just, well, it's burning down. Here we go. Can they do anything? Blabber might full send for a steal.
Yeah, Blabber just has to use himself as a human torpedo and try to steal it away. I feel like that's the only angle, but hold on. Vulcan and Sven putting a little bit of damage here into quad. He's low, but he's not dead yet. Sven has to shift away defensively. Busio's soaking a lot of damage here on the front line. FlyQuest has messed this up. C9 responding to it well as they pop another one of the false lives, and quad is too low to continue fighting.
As the game goes on, if Cloud9 have vision and can get some of this long-range poke down, they can certainly turn the story around on FlyQuest here. That was very, very quick. Inspired's going to make a beeline over to that dragon, but he's a little bit hesitant as far as their vision coverage on Baron. Once they get better coverage on Baron, turns on back to it.
All right.
I think he's got at least right back, though. He's outside of range.
Yeah, the plants are a little bit too far away, but Inspired taking this will bring FlyQuest to Soul Point. Very, very important. This kind of goes back to the previous Smite fight that they won as well. Makes that much more important if they're now set up in this good spot for the rest of the game.
And remember, this is a Muramana Jace. Like this, he didn't go Fimbulwinter for the Bruisery Jace. The Muramana plus the Ezreal here with another Muramana transformed. That Cloud9 poke, that range that we highlighted in Champion Select Flowers, that they're definitely going to need to utilize that before some of these fights actually take place to get some better footing for themselves. They did successfully avoid that doomsday scenario that you brought up where Otacon plus Baron went over.
But the other thing that I'm a little bit worried about, and this kind of ties our last 2 points in together, with the Dragon now at the Soul Point stage for FlyQuest, it's a Mountain Soul. That is so annoying versus a poke. If you're a poke team trying to play into it, the shield does so much to absorb those shock blasts, absorb those mystic shots, and if FlyQuest can secure that last one, all of a sudden the C9 win condition becomes that much more difficult. FlyQuest, I do want to see them continue trying to push this forward. It feels like they're stalling out a little bit now as Cloud9 has been able to answer the attempts that they've made.
And Cloud9 have multiple threats. Like, they have pick potential on this team too, as highlighted a lot with the Leona and the Vi. So maybe they also get themselves back into the game with some picks on side lanes. It definitely is a possibility when you have that much hard engage. Blabber, Loki, or Vulcan all could make the critical pick, but currently they've got Loki pushing bottom again. He does have his teleport ready. The Baron is burning so fast, though.
Yeah, this just dies so quickly to the double massive AP threats of Zyra and Cassiopeia. Vulcan going in, looking to go after Masu. He's trying to get himself away, and the Baron has already been claimed by Quad. Busio looking for the engage onto Loki and Vulcan is already down. Bwipo taken super low, but he ain't going to be killed off yet. Goes all out, drags Loki through the wall. Busio ready to try to help him out, but Loki stays alive. Sven gets the kill back on Busio. Dead bodies on both sides. Masu and Inspired trying to get away because C9 has killed 3 on FlyQuest. +1 for them so far. Might just be +2. Masu getting away still. Sven on the hunt. Final Mystic shot not going to hit, but beautiful aim from Thanatos. FlyQuest have lost everybody except Inspired.
Nice shot there from Thanatos. Maybe the Lakers pick him up too. That one was from downtown. Making some good trades recently. Honestly though, let's take a look because they get the Baron and then Busio goes over the wall and they kill off Vulcan. But the sweep in here, oh, actually, it was quite nice from Bwipo to be able to get back out to the other side. They end up going down. Loki's still surviving, though. And again, it's Thanatos and Sven from the backside with these double transformed Muramana able to chase them down and pick up the extra kill as well.
Nicely done from C9. This felt like such a dangerous game for them for so long. FlyQuest having the leads that they did, controlling all of the grubs, getting the feats early. It felt like Cloud9 was just being suffocated out of the game. But like you've been talking about, using the range, using the poke, finding a way to handle the fight so that FlyQuest can't play to their strengths, it's working out, and they're holding on.
I was quite surprised that Loki also survived that. Like, that was some miracle plays there from Loki. Survived in the end, got the big sweep
Trickster
back.
God.
Trickster God, he got the last laugh in that play for sure, even though FlyQuest got the objective first. So you're still in a scenario where it's like, okay, well, FlyQuest already took the objective off the map before they lost the fight. So even though they lost the fight, the rewards for Cloud9 weren't as large as they normally would be.
C9 still down about 2,000 gold. The big thing that's going to happen here is 75 seconds from now, the Drake will spawn. FlyQuest have the Baron for the next 45 seconds. Their Baron power play is at -1,000. As Bwipo marches forward, trying to find an opportunity to go for a pick, flashes in, Pathmaker to not get caught out by the Emperor's Divide. Massive follow with the Magnet Storm from Busio, but where's the damage? 2 dead on C9. Blabber and Loki drop, and that's the killer instinct FlyQuest needed, and it's from Bwipo.
Dude, Bwipo is doing work this game. I thought it might be another case where he was a little bit too far from the team, but man, that was beautiful. Bought enough time. Busio is then able to follow up, and FlyQuest now on the march. This tower doesn't stand a chance either. 6 Void Grubs flowers,
easy.
Instantly gone.
They're taking that one, no problem. Inhibitor's gonna drop now as well. Still 20 seconds before Blabber or Loki is back alive. Loki's teleport should be back off cooldown by the time that he respawns, but the thing is, Blabber and this dragon are spawning at the same time. Blabber has no ability to teleport down here. FlyQuest are in a great spot to immediately secure themselves a Mountain Soul.
Yeah, I mean, unless Thanatos actually had like a crazy half-court shot with the chase, there's actually no way they're stealing this.
No shot, man. He would have to land that thing from the parking lot.
Yeah, that's real. Okay, Sven made an attempt there at least. But,
okay.
Not too close. Didn't have the info on the health. And so there you go. You do get FlyQuest finally getting that Mountain Soul. Though, respect to Cloud9 for several of these fights that we saw in the last couple minutes to contest them a bit. In the end, it is still going to be such a massive advantage here since you have the permanent buffs of the pushing power of Void Grubs and the safety from some of that poke damage of the Mountain Soul that you talked about, and getting all 3 of those last ones, adding up the passives from even the individual Mountain Souls also helps a lot.
Yeah, Bwipo is so tanky in this game now. You can see Iceborne, plus Spirit Visage, plus the Jack Show. He's got the upgraded Mercury Treads as well from the feats. He's got 3 Mountain Dragons individually, plus that Soul like you're talking about. This Cassante is a brick wall.
That's why he's so confident. And you saw the last one, even with a large distance between him and the rest of the team, he's like, I am going to go forward. He forces the Azir ultimate, goes straight through it, because Cassante, and then able to use his ultimate to get right back to the team and bring one target into their hands. Actually, just really beautiful stuff there. Cassante, certainly a pro champion of all time.
Yes, sir.
Cloud9 do take a single objective, though. They get a little bit of a counter here. Mid lane tower finally going down for themselves, getting some gold.
Well, Sven's just trying to clear out some of the weeds as he makes his way back towards the C9 base. Less than 1 minute until Baron respawns. Remember, the previous Baron, yes, FlyQuest got it, but then everybody except Inspired died. So C9 got a good punish. The Baron didn't end up meaning a ton for FlyQuest. We'll see how sloppy, how crazy, how violent this Baron take gets now, because you know that's going to be the next objective again for FlyQuest. They know they needed to push up. They know they have all this range and poke to deal with on the side of C9. And for C9, we're starting to get to the point where you're not going to have as many mistakes left. You're not going to get too many more chances, so everything's got to be clean here.
All right, let's see it. Everybody mid here, Flowers.
A-Ram.
A-Ram indeed, but FlyQuest have the advantage because both their side lanes are the ones pushing both minion waves there for FlyQuest. Bottom one gets up to tower, and here we have the spawn of Baron. Looks like they're going to try and draw them in once again. Cloud9 here. Blabber goes over the wall, trying to find a little bit of an angle for himself. Busio doing the same on Rel. Nobody stepping up, though. Nobody making that critical mistake. They know the rewards for the next team fight are massive, massive, massive here.
They're not going to start up the Baron. Instead, they're just going to grab the free vision from the super-powered late-game Scuttle Crab. Picks that one up for Inspired. FlyQuest, control over the topside river. It is very dark. It is very scary for C9 right now. The Baron's still not going to be attempted. Bwipo looking to step forward. Masu's already lost half HP. He's got to be a little bit careful about this one. Busio looks for the angle, but he does not find Shattering Strike. A little bit more poke flying out. Doesn't connect there from Thanatos. Blabber trying to just clear out some of the wave. Again, keep your eyes on Blabber. 0, 5, and 3 so far this game. Has died a lot of times. The viral is so hard to play here.
They're out of blue trinkets. The vision here game, it's so hard for them to play. Cloud9 have used every blue trinket. They need one to come back up. Oh,
yeah, Blabber's isolated. It's all out, all in, all over for Blabber.
Yeah, they started moving in because they had no further ways to check this fog of war, and then it's just so dangerous. FlyQuest do a really good job turning and going to pick off Blabber.
It's a rough day to play Vi in the LTA.
It is. I mean, this is not a record-setting one. But, you know, it depends on how long the game goes, I guess.
But, again, I'm just saying, it's so hard to play it into these champions, to play it into this comp. 0, 6, and 3. He's been a part of 1/3 of the total kills. He's died so many times because it's just so difficult to find an angle to get in, to find a way to play these fights. And back there, the Cassiopeia Miasma, you're going to see it again right here, makes it so there's no possible chance.
Yeah, beautiful stuff here. And then Bwipo just gets around the outside, brings him on back. Jungler down means they get another Baron for themselves. Let's see this time around how quickly FlyQuest can push in. Because when you are at a little bit of a range disadvantage and the game goes on, Baron is your biggest boon in trying to actually end one of these games. Mid lane is still open, of course, and so you can try and push up and go get that inhibitor. Side lanes, though, the secondary towers on side lanes have a lot of gold inside them, Flowers.
Yeah.
Fun fact, the construction on those side lane turrets, they just put treasure inside. The secondary ones loaded with gold, and so FlyQuest do want the local gold out of those. Once again, Masu and Sven kind of trying to trade damage there early on. Masu, of course, starts with the extra advantage of the Mountain Soul.
Yeah.
And so he leaves a little chunk of damage there on Sven. Meanwhile, just regenerates his Mountain Soul shield himself.
Okay, we've got the bottom lane wave pushing up towards that tier 2 loot pinata that you were talking about. Plus 5,000 gold lead for FlyQuest, about to become 5.5 as they take down this tier 2 turret. C9 not overcommitting to the defense of this. It's almost 40 minutes into the game. You don't want to throw the last 40 minutes of gameplay away for a tier 2. Bigger problem, though, for C9. You are now looking at a FlyQuest team that has this Baron for another minute and 20 seconds, and 15 seconds from now, the Elder Drake is spawning. Baron plus Elder could be a possibility for FlyQuest. The combined super buffs, a C9 nightmare.
Actually insane neutral buffs for FlyQuest right now. And once again, they've got priority on the objective, Flowers. They've got the vision control here. Let me check. Blue trinkets seem to be on cooldown again.
Busio has found Blabber as he wanted to get some sort of an angle here on the flank, and Quad locks him up with a miasma yet again. Blabber is dead before the fight even starts. Inspire drops the ulti and then goes golden. A double kill for Quad as Loki falls. Thanatos will join him. All of C9 is sunk, and FlyQuest just found exactly what they were looking for.
That road, Flowers, that leads straight to the Nexus. They're going straight up mid. That is a dub for FlyQuest. Once again, objective priority. They get him with the jump. Busio's able to find it on the side, and they are going to push us into elimination point here for Cloud9 in this series.
Man, Busio knew exactly how Blabber was trying to play this game. He knew where he probably was going to be. He finds him in the bush. He shuts him down. FlyQuest gets their fight. FlyQuest ran this game from the very beginning, and FlyQuest takes game 1.
Cool stuff.